What's good, everybody, man? Welcome back to another episode of the Darrel Long channel, hosted by your boy Darrel Long. You guys already know what it is. We got so much to cover. Officer Tatum. Officer Tatum is in his bag these days. He is shucking and jiving literally everywhere he go. I don't even know what to say about it anymore. However, we do have a reaction from for you guys. Now, I am aware that Officer Tatum, went on Jubilee, sat in a room with 20 black progressive individuals, a lot of them young individuals, and told these black individuals that systemic racism has no bearing on real life, right? On black life in America. Then Jubilee brought Officer Tatum back and played him the tape so he can basically review what he said and maybe give him the opportunity to walk back some of the bad things he said. But what happens over the next hour is not really a debate, it's a demonstration. Because when someone is citing a study towards Officer Tatum feels the need to see um the the ideology and the mythology, the sample size, the funding, the author's credibility, the counter arguments, right? He's going to create a counter argument almost automatically, especially if you're given any data that supports African American people. That's just the facts. And when Officer Tatum is usually citing a study, he can never remember the name of the study. He can never remember who curated the study. He tells his audience to go fact check him. And then Officer Tatum basically treats a debate as if he's just throwing out, I don't know, like random bullshit. And he act like it's a fact every time he say something, but he never had a fact. So let me give you guys an example, right? Just so I'm not talking on the side of my neck. The situation with Nolan Wells, right? With Nolan Wells, that situation was crazy with him talking to Nancy Grace because he says, well, the boys took a polygraph test, but he couldn't even really say if they did or didn't. And that's what I'm talking about. These double standards that Officer Tatum has for black Americans, black media, black uh, um conservatives, black Democrats. I mean, if you're black, Officer Tatum has an issue with you. And I'm going to continue to tag him until we get either a response from him or he come here and debate us himself. I do believe that Officer Tatum is a coward. I do believe that Officer Tatum is not a man of his word. I believe he is someone who is doing everything he can in order to grift to the white great society, right? Just so he can make money and go back to his white family. That's genuinely how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. It's no other way for me to really look at it, bro. All right, let me check. Let me tag Don Lemon too. I like Don Lemon. Yeah, I actually want to get on Don Lemon's show soon. I actually want to hop on Don Lemon's show and we can drag Officer Tatum together. We can drag Officer Tatum together and Stephen A. Smith. I'm tired of them all. You feel me? The only reason why I never went that Candace Owens because I'm not about to attack a black woman. I'm just not. I don't give a fuck what she got going on. I'm not about to attack no black woman because she got an opinion. The same way I didn't attack Charlie Kirk because he had an opinion. But Officer Tatum, the fact that you are one of us, you come from a black woman's body, and you still shame black women, black culture. We got to have a conversation about that starting now.
Work together. And I think that's why a lot of black people do leave, because we got a problem with hating on our own people. They
I want to pivot though. I do want to pivot.
Hold on. They lying to you, sis. I'm black. The first doctor was white. Our doctor was black. My second doctor was black.
I think it's a degradation of values in the black community.
And I don't know. They treated me great. And my wife great.
All right. Hello. So good to see you again, Officer Tatum. How are you?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How were you feeling after your last episode being surrounded by 20 black progressives?
I feel good because I think we had a very spirited conversation. I'm a little disappointed that the mindset of some of my counterparts are.
And people keep saying, don't make Officer Tatum famous. Don't make him famous. All of that. Fuck all of that. We're going to make bro famous, right? I want to see everybody doing videos about bro. I want to see all the ones who I know is real ones. That's why I tag Taz. That's why I tag DL Hughley. Right? The rest of y'all ops. Outside of my wife, the rest of y'all ops. That's just what it is, man. But listen, before I keep going with the video, if you're new here, this channel does one thing. We check the tape. We fact check everything. Okay? I don't care what side you're on. That's just what we do here. Today, I'm going to be correcting Officer Tatum about a dozen times, and also correcting some of the progressives in the room that was going against Officer Tatum, who, in my opinion, fumbled a few of the citations. Okay? And I'm going to also be correcting the host of Jubilee on the Black Panther Party claim. So make sure you guys get everybody checked in. All right. Make sure you guys share the video out to somebody else so we can get a whole bunch of people here. Okay. Smash the like button, because if you genuinely like my videos, this genuinely is going to help me move up in the algorithm. Because every hour that, we don't get a super chat, every hour that somebody doesn't send a cash app is an unpaid hour of work. Okay. I am a husband. I am a father. I do have responsibilities. So if you cannot financially support, just hitting the like button to help us move along in the algorithm would genuinely help. Hyping the video would genuinely help. All right. No matter what you're doing, if you're in the chat, just hit the like button. That's your only job for tonight, outside of listening to this story with a open mind. All right. This is not a hit piece on a man because he's conservative. All right. It's about whether the standards Officer Tatum holds to other people is the same standards that he hold onto himself and the white people that he gimmicks to. All right. Let's go.
Or to the degree that it is, the kind of that victim mentality. My platform is based on overcoming that and based on criticizing that at every end, and just seeing young people still carry that mentality is a little disappointing. But I think we had a spirited conversation, and I think it'll be good for people to hear both sides.
I agree. And just backing up, what made you interested in doing the show? Have you ever done anything like this before?
I actually was on Jubilee a long time ago. It was conservative men versus trans men, or something like that. So I thought that Jubilee does do a really good job of being fair and impartial and setting up a professional environment. And I learned a lot from that first one, because when I saw it, I said, trans men, that's a weird combination of people. Conservative men, trans men. I've never met a trans man before. I'll tell you what, by the end of the conversation we had, everybody took a group picture together, and we realized that we have some differences, but at the end of the day, we're all human. And I love the fact that these groups that would normally not come together had a chance to come together. And I said, you know what, when I was, presented with the opportunity to potentially to do one again with Jubilee, I said, yeah, I think this is great. And I've seen
Hey, this Jubilee. Oh, look, damn, my bad, y'all. I'm bugging. This Jubilee girl, she's pretty. I ain't even gonna lie.
few of them. I seen Charlie Kirk do one of a similar thing. I think Candace Owens did one. Dave Rubin did one. It was a couple other people that I've seen that have done. What is his name? Patrick, but David did one, which I thought was very interesting. So I was like, it'd be a good opportunity to have good communication with the other side.
Exactly.
I disagree. I think that when you guys are platforming people who are not genuine, it takes away from the arguments we're having as a society as a whole. That's just the facts. You know how I know? Like it's the same reason, right? I don't give platforms to men who want to wear wigs. Some on some. Well, when it comes to the basketball, I want to be a woman. I'm not giving those guys a platform because we take away from genuine conversations by giving people like Officer Tatum, Enos Cantor, and Royce White a platform. Them men don't want to be women. They don't want to suck dick. They don't want to do none of the stuff that women do. They just want to disrespect women in the sport of the WNBA. This man just want to disrespect black women and what they contribute and what they bring to the table. The same way he's disrespected Nolan Wells' mother while she grieved her dead son. Let's keep going.
That's my favorite part of the show, being able to agree to disagree. I felt like you kept your composure. Sometimes the episodes can get really spicy and really argumentative, and I didn't feel like yours was, so I really respected it.
Yeah, and I'm not good for television and entertainment, to be honest, in some degree, because I'm not going into it trying to create a highlight tape, trying to be seen and be, oh, I'm gonna do this, oh, I'm gonna school these people. I really didn't want to go there unless I was gonna engage in the conversation and try to listen to people from the other side. I already know what I believe. I can't assume what they believe. So, I think that a little bit of it was a little slower than people may be used to, because some people get right into the clash and conflict. I literally wanted to hear them out and build a response to what they actually said to me. And I wanted to be respectful. It is not conducive to just berate people and yell over them. And I just don't think I could do that on my own time. So I really wanted to get something from hearing from the other side, because maybe there's something that could be said that I could change on, that I can learn from. So
did you feel like anything from this episode changed your views or any perspectives you had?
One of the young men, I felt like we didn't disagree as much as I thought that we would, meaning I figured the mentality of a lot of the black liberals would be so polar opposite that we can agree to disagree, but we would not hang out after the event, right? We live in two different worlds. But there was a few, and one in particular, I forget his name now, but he was a cool dude, man. And I felt like after the show, him and I can go hang out and be friends. And even though we had some difference of opinion, we were very similar in how we grew up and, the mentality that we had. So that was something.
Listen, most people don't really hate you, right? Like, I don't hate you. I didn't hate Charlie Kirk. But what I don't like is misinformation, and you, my black brother, you spew a lot of misinformation. So before I continue playing the clip, I have to explain something to the people in the chat asking, why is everybody so mad at this guy, right? Shout out to everybody watching on Twitter. Because if you only know him from Jubilee, then sure, Officer Tatum, he seems reasonable. He seems calm. He seems measured, right? He doesn't yell. The host, as you guys just saw, even compliments him and say, yeah, you didn't get out your body. And that's exactly the point. So allow me to lay it out for you carefully with tears on screen about why a lot of black Americans hear this man's name and they shut down automatically. I'm going to be fair to Officer Tatum on two of these, because two of them, two of these points in this video, he actually gets right. Right. So first of all, let's talk about what's confirmed and what's not confirmed. Officer Tatum resume and his job. This man is a former Tucson, Arizona police officer. He left his police department and he became a professional political commentator, which is what he do now. Officer Tatum has been affiliated with Turning Point USA and an outreach role, and he has also co-founded Blexit alongside Candace Owens. So this is someone who believes and thinks like Candace Owens, like Charlie Kirk. And they created that organization, Blexit, whose entire premise is black people exiting the Democratic Party. They wanted to get as many voters as they could for the Republican Party. Okay? So I want to be very precise, very clear with my opinion, because it's not all fact. I want to be clear about what's facts and what's not. All right, there is a market for black men in American politics. If you want to be a conservative, if you want to be a Republican, there is a market for that. I'm not saying that he is forcing people to go become Republicans. I'm not saying that because I want to make sure it's fact and opinion. The fact is they're not making anybody do anything. But the actual true fact, right, that everybody's glossing over is they created an entire organization, and the premise of it was helping people to exit the Democratic Party because they wanted to give all those votes to Donald Trump. They wanted to give all that young influence to Donald J. Trump. That's just the facts. So, when we talk about Officer Tatum, Officer Tatum was Officer Tatum, he surprised me when he talked about Derek Chauvin. He said that Derek Chauvin was wrong. For those who don't know, Derek Chauvin was the one who had his knee on George Floyd's neck. And he said that George Floyd should be in prison. Sorry. He said that Derek Chauvin should be in prison for the murder of George Floyd. Right? Which is, that's him getting it right. You got to give him that. Also, Officer Tatum is on record acknowledging that police brutality does exist, and he has also seen it with his own eyes. He doesn't deny that police brutality exists. So we have to just keep those 2 points right there, because I want to be completely fair when I'm doing these reviews now. Back in the day, I would just be one-sided and we'd say, fuck Tatum, fuck his family, and we'd just ride on all of them. But I'm trying to be more of a YouTube content creator. All right. Let's keep going, and then I'll talk to you guys more about why African Americans don't trust Officer Brandon Tatum.
That I learned is that, you know, there are a few people out there, although they consider themselves to be black liberals, that we actually are not as different as people would perceive.
I feel like I think I know who you're talking about, but we're actually going to watch some of the clips from the episode. You haven't seen anything yet, correct?
Oh, no, I haven't seen it. I remember being there, but I haven't seen anything afterwards. I don't remember, you know, a lot of times you're on there and you like remember what it, and then you see it and you're like, oh man, that didn't go the way I thought it went. You know, so
I think it's going to be interesting to watch it back. So one of your surrounding claims was that police do more harm than good, than harm in black communities. So I'm going to play you a clip from your interaction with Santana. I think this is who you're speaking about. He brought up the Veil of Darkness study, which is a statistical method to test racial bias in police traffic stops. Do you remember that one?
I do remember that one.
Okay, so I'm gonna play that right now.
The Veil of Darkness study was a study that was completed where 95 million traffic stops were actually checked across the United States of America. Vast pool, right? The methodology accounted for the time of day, for traffic, location, different shifts. Would you like to know what they found in that study when it came to policing and black people?
That black people commit more traffic violations than other people.
No.
That is true.
Black people were stopped for more traffic violence. Hold on, I got you.
Because they commit more traffic violations.
You don't know the study. How are you going to answer?
I know what other studies and statistical data points show.
Okay, then.
That's crazy that you don't have the information for a study, but you know automatically that black people are committing more traffic stops. What the fuck? Let's keep going.
Give me another study that actually. Oh, sure.
You think they're just pulling black people over just because they see a black person driving down the street? That's not true.
The Veil of Darkness study.
You have no evidence.
The Veil of Darkness study that was done by Stanford and backed up by the CDC actually showed that what happens is during the day, police officers use racial bias because they can see people and they pull people.
You've never made a traffic stop in your life.
I'm literally going
to let you finish.
They pull black people over during the day at a disproportionate rate than white people, but at nighttime, when you can't see and it's harder to tell someone's actual race, then the average drops and it equals out.
Okay,
they actually found that in the study, 95 million traffic violations, that when you can't see someone's race, you focus on the traffic violations versus the day. Let me tell you why your study's flawed. For one reason, I was a police officer many years. I do traffic stops during the day, and you cannot always tell the race of a person during the day, no matter what. Secondary, I agree. They're secondary. When you are patrolling, majority of the black people that you engage with live in what? Black communities. Over police.
So You're gonna make an excuse. We can get to that.
I'm not making an
You're
excuse.
making an
I'm just
excuse.
telling you.
When you're in the black community, you own.
Officer Tatum was a police officer in Tucson, Arizona, where most of the people down there are white. So he wouldn't have to tell race because most of the people down there are white. And at the end of the day, it's really hard for me as an educated person to listen to somebody who is not making educated arguments. Officer Tatum has publicly disputed elements, for example, of the historical record of the 1921 Tulsa race massacre, spewing misinformation, making it seem like it was a race riot, like black people were doing something bad. We did a fact check on that very topic on this channel. And I'll put the link in the description for you guys in our opinion. But Greenwood, Tulsa was completely destroyed. The first aerial attack by Americans on American soil. Mass graves had to be dug. Insurance claims are still being filed to this day, and they have been denied for decades. This is not a matter of interpretation. Officer Tatum has built a body of commentary defending police officers in high-profile shootings. Okay? That is what he does. Even in this video, he's going to defend officers like Derek Chauvin later. Even though he did say Derek Chauvin should be in jail, he still went at George Floyd. He gonna talk shit about George Floyd. He gonna talk shit about Cyrus Carmack, all these other different individuals. And he's gonna defend police officer actions every single fucking time. Let me just show you all the video, man. My wife says, what innately about black people that will cause them all to break more traffic laws? What would that gain us? Nothing. According to Tatum, of course, it's gonna be we the ones that's breaking all the laws. You know what Tatum never talks about? Who is harming the children more? Who is sexually assaulting children more? Because those numbers, they don't even, the numbers is so wicked, it makes no sense. White man is leading by 1,000. It's this child. Let's go.
Only have options to pull over
Give me
black people.
any type of
Let me
empirics
finish.
that disagrees with the Veil of Darkness study.
Watching that back, what are your initial thoughts?
No, I think I had a really good argument against what he was saying. And, you know, the hard part in certain debates like this is because if I haven't been able to look at the study and evaluate the study, he brought it up on the spot. I can't validate if he's even telling the truth or not. He could just make the whole thing up. But I tried to at least acknowledge that what he's saying was a fact of what the study represents. And I felt like that there was just because there's statistical data points, it doesn't tell the full story in context. As a police officer, you hardly ever can tell people's race when you pull them over. Most people you pull over, you're pulling them over from the back of the vehicle. Many people have 10 on their cars.
Man, stop it. Stop it. We know y'all can see the race when y'all look up their license. Call me a liar. I just don't understand it. When you chat GPT it and Google it, right? And Google Gemini, it says that it don't directly say race. However, you do have access to the registered owner's driver's license file, which typically would include height, weight, race, eye color, date of birth, gender. In many state DMV databases, races is sometimes encoded, but most of the time listed in the physical description of the file. So when y'all pulling niggas, motherfucking, and look, I'll show y'all this, bro. I ain't no capping ass nigga like you, pussy. Nigga, I just Google Gemini this in real time. Right? It do not directly see race. It don't see it at all. It's not directly. But it shows right here that it typically includes physical description like weight, height, hair color, nigga eye color, nigga date of birth, gender, and sometimes race is encoded or listed physical descriptor on file, nigga. So fuck is you talking about? I see the Wendy Cups. Have you tried the pretzel? Man, yeah, that's the one I got. I got that joint right now, Gore. Look. What is Gore talking about? I haven't even opened this bitch yet, nigga. Pretzel bun right now, nigga. Pretzel bun. Yeah. I just don't like eating and talking. You know what I'm saying? I got the bacon cheese fries too. I had to whack those. I had to whack those real quick. You feel me? Them bitches wasn't gonna survive the day. Let's go back to the video though.
See, this is the thing that people don't realize that I think is invaluable. I wish I could have said it, but I know that it was a time crunch there. Is that law enforcement officers that do this for a living, they are not concerned about pulling over black people. They want people who have drugs and who are doing violations, because that's where the glory is at, right? You don't get a pat on the back because you pulled over 6 black people that didn't do nothing. You get accolades and promotions and stuff if you're getting drugs off the streets and guns off the streets. So with that being said, it's
Bro,
not
stop it. You trying to convince us that you don't get accolades for locking up niggas when Joe Biden, the president, has already said when he was around and he was a senator or whatever, and they signed the 3 strikes and you're out bills and shit. And they signed the, what's that shit called again? That them niggas signed the motherfucking crime bill. Man, that shit was directly for African Americans. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, bro. They wasn't walking around Tribeca looking for white boys who was snorting powder. They was walking around Queens looking for niggas who selling powder. That's the facts. Who the fuck you think you talking to? And I meant to say this too. You a police officer. You have no education. Only thing you do is slap fucking metal cuffs on a nigga wrist and drive all day. You don't do nothing else. Only thing you do is point a machine at a nigga car and make sure he doing 50 in a 50. You don't do nothing that requires education. That's why you got with the white woman. She do all the thinking for you. Let's tell the truth, bro. At the end of the day, I don't even want to do your wife video, but the wife video next. That's a fact. I might do that joint tonight. That's just the fact. Let's keep going, man.
always conducive to just say he's black, so he must be doing this. That doesn't work. That's ineffective, inefficient. There's other markers that have nothing to do with the person. It has things to do with cars that you've never seen in the area, so on and so forth. And those indicators are, and then if they commit a traffic violation, those indicators will lead you to better statistical stops that lead to something. And nighttime is just as difficult. That's why you don't focus on race. And then the nighttime is a whole different element, right? You got regular people out during the day. At night, it's at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, it's just you and criminals for the most part. So I appreciate him bringing that up, but real policing, and I had a young lady going to ride along with me because she was a Black Lives
What
Matter.
you just say? Hold on.
And then if they committed...
Hold on, nigga. Play Kevin Hart, nigga. What he just say?
Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Did you just say because I'm out at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm automatically a fucking criminal? You fucking bum. That's why we doxing your family next video, next stream, boy. It's over. Don't try to reach out to me and none of that, gang. Unless you in Chicago and you want to meet up man to man. I don't want to even talk to you unless you want to do 2 things. You come on the show, you debate your little fucking talking points so I can break you down in real life online. Then you let me know if you want to come to Chicago so I can break you down in real life as well. With a debate. With a debate. Mr. Tatum. Mark ass.
The traffic violation, those indicators will lead you to.
He has a bachelor in sociology. Let's fact check this. Officer Tatum, education. Okay, so he has a bachelor in sociology. My chat did not lie to me. Competed in the U.S. Army Bowl. Nah, that nigga still a bitch. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all straight up. Sociology not a real major, man. That shit's trash, man. I hated every sociology class I ever had. You know what I'm saying? What, the nigga studied Karl Marx? Niggas study Karl Marx, The Mind of Being a Coon. Man, them niggas and boys is me. Get no credit, but I appreciate that. That's good. That's good,
statistical stops that lead to something. And nighttime is just as difficult. That's why you don't focus on race. And then the nighttime is a whole different element, right? You got regular people out during the day. At night, it's just at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, it's just you and criminals for the most part. So at night, it's at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, it's just you and criminals.
That's literally untrue. That's how I know this nigga stupid. This is what happens when you go to school and you get a sociology degree. First of all, you end up becoming a fucking police officer. And imagine this. You don't go to school to get a criminal justice degree. You get a fucking sociology degree. One of the worst degrees. You might as well get a degree in basket weaving. This nigga has a sociology degree. Then you come online saying the only people that's moving and shaking at 3, 4 in the morning is criminals. Nigga, half of Chicago going to work at 3 or 4 in the morning. Don't let you be driving from the suburbs like me, nigga. You trying to get downtown by 6 o'clock. You better not leave no later than 3 or 4, nigga. Fuck you talking about? Traffic about to eat up you. Oh, you one of them niggas that you don't know no better. I'm about to leave out 10 minutes before. And I got the 20-minute drive to Chicago. That's what it says. It says 20 minutes. A 20-minute drive ain't gonna. Nigga gonna get on the road. 2-hour drive, goofy. Only people that's out at 3 or 4. You know how many people go to O'Hare in Chicago at 3 or 4 in the morning to catch a flight? You know how many people go to Midway Airport at 3 and 4 in the morning to go catch a flight? The fuck is you talking about? We just had Lollapalooza here. That bitch was jumping. The parties was jumping. The clubs in Chicago don't close till 5 in the morning. That's what happened when you go to school for sociology. And you grow up in Texas. Child.
Most part. So I appreciate him bringing that up, but real policing, and I had a young lady go on a ride along with me because she was a Black Lives Matter person or whatever, and our kids went to the same daycare, and I could tell she was interested. I used to drop my kid off in my uniform, and I said, come do a ride along with me. And every single car, and I like want to do a study on this, and I want to bring random people in police cars and tell them, every single car I drove by, I said, what race is that person? She couldn't tell. She had no idea. What race is this person? When you go to pull somebody over, you have to look at the license plate too. Therefore, you can.
Hold on, gang. You trying to tell me that when I'm driving down the street, I can see the race of niggas. It don't matter if they on the other side of the road. I look, okay, a little bad little white bitch over there. But you niggas is driving in a Ford Police Inceptor and you can't tell the race of a nigga. I don't know the race of this guy at all. I'm completely fucking blind right now. Man, you sound like the goofy ass nigga that we talking about. Even somebody old can be like, hey, bro, I saw that one guy. He was black speeding along I-94. Bro, we can see niggas, bro. We got eyes. We can see. You think that if I was a police officer and I was telling Charlie Kirk, I wouldn't be able to tell that was a white man? Fuck is you talking about? The average person driving, we see people, bro. When I be in Chicago, for example, you don't think when I be on the south side, I be looking out for YNs? I can tell a YN from an OG immediately. Skinny jeans, hair long as fuck, draped down in the latest fashion and shit. But even more importantly, they got both of them bangers. You know the difference, but you don't want to know the difference. You's a goofy ass nigga. Go ahead, give him the clown emoji. Goofy ass nigga.
Run the plate. You're not looking at the person. So it's a lot more distracted things than the person. So I don't think his study told the full story, if I'm being honest.
I do think a lot of frustration with the progressives, and you came because they felt that you were completely in denial that there's racial bias in policing. So in your personal experience, you ever experienced racial bias in the whole time in law enforcement? Have you seen police brutality?
Yes and yes. Let me explain. On the episode, I did say that I'm not denying that these things happen. I'm not denying racism. I'm not denying biases. I'm not denying systemic issues against Black people. I'm not denying any of those things. When I was a police officer, I did not see racial bias, but I did see police brutality. I did see cops that were overzealous. And guess who hate those issues?
Slow that down, my nigga. What you just say?
Against Black people. I'm not denying any of those things. When I was a police officer, I did not see racial bias, but I did.
When I was a police officer, I did not see racial bias, but
See police brutality.
But you did see police brutality.
That's true.
Yeah, when I was out as a whole ass officer, as a rat out there in fucking Arizona, I didn't see no racial bias. I saw a whole bunch of niggas get beat up, police brutality, right? But I didn't see nothing racial. I didn't see nothing racial at all. So when they was beating the fuck out them niggas, and they was saying, nigga, and they never beat the white boys like that, you wouldn't see that as racial bias? Nah, my nigga. All right, bet.
I did see cops that were overzealous. And
Overzealous? Will they be overzealous with a particular race, or were they overzealous, period? See, these are the questions that people want to know. You motherfucker. These are the questions people want to know. I'm so tired of you tap dancing niggas. I swear to God, I'm so tired of you tap dancing niggas. It make no sense. Let's keep going.
And guess who hate those cops? All the rest of the cops. We worked so hard to make it through the academy. We worked so hard to land that job. You had to go through so much to even get there that nobody wants to ruin their career. We got families to feed. We got all kind of stuff. And nobody wants to go to prison for life for abusing anybody. But there were cops. Now, I never saw anything illegal, but I know.
What? You just admitted you saw cops being overzealous, right? You just admitted that you saw cops practicing in police brutality. But now you're going to say, I didn't see them niggas do nothing illegal, though. Make cue to Kevin Samuels, man.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
That there are cops that were overly aggressive, and I can only imagine. And let me
Due
say
to
the thing.
race or
No, just because they were aggressive. Like, let me explain it this way. And this is where people make the huge mistake. Abusive cops are abusive to everybody. They're abusive to their own coworkers. These people are bad people. It's
Oh my God, man. Man. I wish I would have never moved Stop the Cap. Damn, I wish I would never removed Stop the Cap. But fuck it.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
Abusive police officers abuse everybody. Lies. These niggas are not abusive, but racist and prejudiced. That is why they're abusing specific people. That is why. I say this all the time, right? Because the rest of y'all grew up wherever y'all grew up at. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. Okay? And about 5 miles south of Detroit, Michigan, lies a city called Dearborn, Michigan. And in Dearborn, Michigan, many of you now know Dearborn, Michigan has the highest population of Muslims of any city in America. And I remember when 9/11 happened, and I was thinking, man, the police about to be beating the fuck out these little Arabic kids like they beat on niggas. Nah, due to 9/11, man, these Arabic niggas about to feel it. Come to find out, congratulations, Darrel, you played yourself.
That's true.
Y'all don't beat on nobody because, oh yes, and the Chaldeans, absolutely. Even after 9/11, after their people was responsible for 3,000 Americans dying, police officers in Michigan was still treating niggas in Dearborn like a fucking Persian king. These niggas getting caught in school with vapes. They getting caught in school with weed pens. Police not beating their ass like they beating a little black girl ass in school, right? They doing whatever they want to do. Selling fake Gucci, fake Fendi, fake everything. Shit, I just bought me a fake Nike hat the other day from them niggas. Where my fake Nike hat? I bought me a little fake Nike bucket hat from the people. $25, a little easy little bitch. Shit fit right on my head. Shit, I started to buy me a fake Gucci hat on y'all niggas, little Fendi. You feel me? I don't give a fuck. But the point is this. You're lying. They know who to fuck up and they know who not to fuck up. And black people being the unprotected people that we are, because the men that are supposed to be the protectors are either being shamed or have lost all love for black men and black women and black families like Officer Tatum and Anton and the rest of the coons. Therefore, they're not interested in protecting us. They're interested in harming us. Let's continue. And shout out to StreamYard for getting the side-by-side. This shit like fixed. That is so lit. Let's go.
rare that you would see a cop be nice to white people and then be mean and beat up black people. That dynamic rarely exists in policing, period, because you typically patrol in areas that are, like, for instance, there's a city, 5 areas in the city. there's 5 precincts. So many cities, there's areas where only black people live. And if you're a cop in that precinct, you only have black people to deal with. And I would argue that's the least racist police officers, because you get a chance to see good black people and you get a chance to see the bad black people, and you know the difference between the two more than anybody else because you're in that community. And you have to put your life on the line for black people every single day of your life, you know, on duty. So I would argue that those people are a lot less racist than just about anybody. But I saw officers who were bad officers, meaning that they had the quick to blow up on people. They were super aggressive. You give them any chance to put their hands on you, they're going to go all in. And that creates a tumultuous environment for the rest of us. And we hated those cops. So when people
you don't feel like
Cat, you don't hate those cops. Those your brothers. You love those cops. You absolutely love those cops, broski. What is you talking about? Oh yeah, we hate those cops, bro. We don't fuck with those cops at all. No, I haven't seen one video on your channel calling out a bad police officer. There's more videos of you calling out Carmelo Anthony, saying that nigga, you made that nigga Carmelo Anthony sound like that nigga was John Wick. He killed, I mean, he sent out that nigga Austin Metcalf in the most ferocious ways. I'm saying he did that nigga like he was Osama bin Laden. Like, come on, bro. Like, bro, y'all was making Lil Bro seem like he was a real hitter out here when he was just a scared kid. You pussy ass nigga.
it was targeted.
No,
based on race.
nobody cares about race. I mean, does it happen? I'm sure it happens. It's rare because you don't get a chance to say, I'm gonna go to that call because it's a black person. So I'm gonna go there and be belligerent. You don't get a chance to pick who you go on calls with. You're going service calls to calls to calls to calls to calls. And what happens?
It don't matter about who you get on calls with, my nigga. That's irrelevant. What's relevant is how you treat individuals once you in their presence. Like, I forgot baby girl now. I think her name is Sonia Massey. She was taken out by a white man who didn't see her as human. You feel me? He saw her as basically, you know what I'm saying, somebody's life worth taking. I think they said that she used like some boiling water or some shit, and that's why he had to draw his weapon. I ain't see no videos from Officer Tatum holding that nigga accountable. That's the problem. That's the problem, bro. Black men, we have sold out black women. We have sold out black culture. And until black men hold this type of raccoon accountable, I'm going to always stick to the side of black women, because here it is. We have a black woman challenging him, saying, hey, what about this racist shit? What about that racist shit? And we watching this nigga tap dance like Daffy Duck and that motherfucking emoji back in the day. I mean, y'all niggas clowns, man. That's the worst shit y'all can ever be, bro. Is somebody who is desecrating the legacy that our forebearers left for us to carry on, making it hard for us just to get treated equally and our kids to be treated equally.
Happens is most of the time it's the reaction from the person that necessitate or creates an environment that you're in. You go to a call and a black person is following instructions and doing nothing wrong. You're rarely going to see any conflict. It's that when you get there and they like, F you, y'all always killing us, and then the cop that's bad will escalate right alongside the person. And this is where you see some of this police brutality happening, is because these cops get overzealous and they beat the crap out of them, and they would do that to anybody, I would argue.
So don't you think it's possible that, say you're a white cop who didn't grow up in a black neighborhood, isn't familiar with black people outside of policing, and we've all heard the stereotypes about black people. I know I've heard since I've been a kid that we're supposed to be gangbangers, that we're drug dealers, we're violent, we're dangerous, we're uneducated, we're poor. So if someone who's a white police officer.
But Mama Sita, and I know you don't mean nothing, but like, I know you don't mean nothing about this, but we got to talk about it. I hate how they like label us as gangbangers and then do movies glorifying niggas like Al Capone and Scarface. That's why I told black men, why do y'all love Scarface? He popped his own mans because his mans married his sister. He was literally a crackhead. You feel me? He didn't want to put in work when the big homie told him to put in the work, right? He led his people to ruin. Big old black people. Oh yeah, he was living that life and shit. Turn on rubbers and shit. Stacking cars and stacking chips. I saw you canning chips. Coming on with a foreign chain. Now I got a brand new diamond chain. My watch is getting richer. The diamonds looking thicker. Money talk is much longer now. Man, that nigga was a mob nigga imitating other little Cuban mob niggas, Dominican mob niggas, Sicilian mob niggas, Italian mob niggas, Irish mob niggas, Venezuelan mob niggas. I mean, so many type of mob niggas, bro. You know what's crazy? Every time I'm in Chicago, they make it seem like King Von was the biggest. And all respect to King Von, all respect to all the black sets in Chicago, all respect to Larry Hoover, all respect to all the sets, all the fallen niggas. Woo woo, right? With that being said, nigga, the facts is the facts. The biggest gangster in Chicago history is Al Capone. Al Capone. But they talk about gangster shit like it was black men who was the biggest steppers of all time. Man, that shit is one of the biggest lies that this country has ever fabricated, bro. Niggas ain't got no drugs that they really pushing. I'm talking about, if you look at where the major drugs come from, fentanyl, coke, all of that shit, at the niggas at the top of the food chain, every single one of them niggas is non-black. That's a fact.
Is hearing that, and then they're policing and actually seeing these things come to fruition. They're seeing a black drug dealer or a black violent criminal. Don't you think they might act a little bit with a racial bias in those situations, unknowingly even? Maybe it's unconscious.
Well, I'll say three things to that.
No, it's not unconscious. It's purposely done. If you do research, right? I think it's the 75th or the 73rd. I want to say the 75th precinct in New York, made up of all Irish niggas who was all on bullshit. They was paid by the mob. They was in the mob's hand. You know what I'm saying? That's why they was going against niggas like Bumpy Johnson and eventually Frank Lucas and the Supreme Team, because they was being literally paid by the fucking mafia. Like, that's just what it is, bro. You feel me? Pony Castelloni, all these different guys, these were made men. You can't even look at the research of Malcolm X and his dealings with Bumpy Johnson without running into history of the mob, in particular the story of Dutch. What's the Dutchman's name? But I know he was a Dutch mobster. and he clashed with Malcolm, and he clashed with Bumpy Johnson, because Bumpy Johnson at that time supported what Malcolm was trying to do, but understood that the Nation of Islam would need protection and they would need funding in order to see their endeavors all the way through. They had no problem. They had no problem when niggas like Trump and others was getting donations from people like Jeffrey Epstein. We still don't know what happened with that nigga. Oh yeah, bro, he took himself out in a cell. You think we fucking stupid?
One, the question of, are police officers racist, or you had any racial encounters that you've seen as a police officer? The answer is no. Have I seen racial insensitivity? The answer is yes. That's more prevalent than racial bias. And when I say that,
what?
Seen as a police officer, the answer is no. Have I seen racist, or you had any racial encounters that you've seen as a police officer? The answer is no. Have I seen racial insensitivity? The answer is yes. That's more prevalent.
Oh my God. I haven't seen racial bias. What have you seen? Racial insensitivity? Niggas worse than these women, bro.
Prevalent than racial bias. And when I say that, is because if you have a white person that never grew up around black people, don't understand black culture, they get to a scene and people yelling and screaming and gestures and being animated, they like, oh yeah, these people, hey, watch out, let me see your hands. Versus if you grew up in a black neighborhood and you're like, man, black people just animated like this. It's not as much of a threat as if white people did the same thing, generally speaking. So I saw that happen. I also saw it in the reverse. Black officers that grew up a certain way that wasn't necessarily used to the Hispanic community. So when you talk about insensitivities unintentionally to culture, I saw that way more often than anything else. But I will.
Somebody in my chat said, what's wrong with him? Nothing. Nothing is wrong with him. He's actually just doing his job, if I'm being honest.
At this as the third level is that I think cops who patrol in black communities are far less biased because they get an opportunity to see all black people. They're not tricked by TV. They're not tricked by stereotypes. They see people in real life. They show up at the...
No, wrong. What they see is everything that confirm their racism, everything that confirm their prejudice. Look at how they living. Look at how dirty their streets are. Look at how many of them is outside, poor, on drugs. Look at how many of them is outside at the gas station. How many gunshots we gonna hear go off tonight on the south side, west side of Chicago? No, it's not that they see black people for who they are. They, even when they come into black neighborhoods, in my opinion, they simply see the confirmation for their bias. That is all. That is all. Nothing more, nothing less.
Call where grandma got beat over the head and robbed. They show up to the call where someone got molested. They show up to the call where they had to get CPS to get the children in a safe environment. They show up to a...
And in most of those cases, the people that they show up to protect are usually worst off. Ask people. Ask people before you start making up shit. I'll tell you this because everybody knows that I do, you know. Anyway, I had a situation, right, when I was at work. I was picking somebody up and it was clear that it was a abusive situation that was going on domestically. This guy feared the police being called simply because he was a man in that situation and the kid wanted to go with him. I don't even know if I want to talk about the rest of it. All I'm gonna say is this. Sometimes you guys really just ignore the reason why the black community don't trust police officers And that alone also make us not trust you. The lack of being authentic, the lack of listening to why we feel the way we feel. Let me go to my Cash App, see if I got any donations, man. I might do a part 2 of this. Y'all know me, man. I don't do shows for more than an hour, man, without being paid. I got stuff I gotta go do. Let's go ahead. Look, run to Sharon Bracey, man. We need donations. Otherwise, we're gonna have to do a part 2.
For clout. That is the solution to this. The solution, Ed, is for you to send a goddamn 99-cent super sticker. So this way I don't have to go to Brokeback Mountain. That shit crazy. The problem is that we are not supporting great productive entertainment.
All right, y'all let me know, man. Cash App, $DLon316. All right, we're doing $150 daily stream goals. All right, so I'm gonna leave it open for about 1 more minute. I do have a whole lot of content to go over, but I got other stuff I gotta do, and it's dire. So I need you guys to support. Okay. If you guys can't support, then just know that we're gonna be getting our 1 hour content done. As far as the live stream goes, the pre-recordings, who knows? Because I have a lot of pre-recordings, and a lot of them are like 2 or 3 hours long, which is why I haven't put them out yet. But I gotta put them out very soon. It's not one of those things where it's dependent on like trends, A lot of what we do on like these live streams are, well, this is trendy right now, and we gotta talk about it while it's popping. No, I'm not interested in that. Look, half of y'all done left. All right, bye y'all. Ciao.